I started playing piano by ear when I was 4. My parents heard me playing with 2 hands, real songs. And so they started me in lessons, and then it took me over to the Cleveland Institute of Music, where I was accepted at 5 into a program for gifted kids. So I had conservatory piano teacher and solfege and theory and all of that. And and I got to be around other kids who were really talented. We were playing chamber music and things like that in elementary school. Early on in our Houston days, my father and I went to a jam session, and there holding court was the great tenor saxophonist Arnett Cobb, really one of the legends of jazz. And so my dad and Arnett became soulmates almost immediately, and my dad was there at Arnett's deathbed. And I started playing every Sunday at Arnett Cobb's jam session all through high school. And so if you can imagine, anybody who was in town in those days, in the 1970s, they would come to Arnett's jam session. So by the time I'd finished high school, I'd played with Sonny Stitt, who was my dad's good friend, all of the guys in the Woody Herman Band, the Count Basie Orchestra, the Buddy Rich Orchestra, and just the various people who came through Houston and would go to Arnett's session. So, I learned a lot about what's my favorite thing to do today. I learned a lot about accompanying, because every horn player, every singer had a different style. And so as the pianist, learning to try to maximize what they did was something that started really early with me. And in lessons from my dad, he gave me my first accompanying lessons. And I felt that I'd built the jazz department at the Thornton School. We sort of went to the mountaintop, and with faculty members like Peter Erskine and Bob Shepard and John Clayton and Vince Mendoza, we had and on. We had amazing faculty, and we built a distinctive curriculum. I was really happy with it. And as you know, music is an ever-expanding discipline. There's more music being perceived and played and written now than at any time in history. And so what we really need is to train musicians who are very, very talented, but also have the capacity to do more than one thing very well. Because they're going to create opportunities in the future. They're going to create new opportunities. They're going to help music continue to grow. They're going to curate audiences, and they're going to go to work in all the various parts of the music world, whether it's education or the business or whatever, or industry. And they're going to help music organically in a lot of ways. So all of our students learn like jazz students. We put them in little garage bands from the freshman year, where they're improvising and composing and ear training and really getting those skills that too often music students don't get. And it's a real boot camp for 2 years, and that launches a different way of thinking. We have no genre silos, so our students are working together across the school with the Henry Mancini Institute. We're doing television specials and major label recordings and film scores and all kinds of projects where students from various disciplines are collaborating in real world circumstances. The jazz students are learning from the classical students because they're getting an opportunity to play music that's foreign from what they do every day. We have our curricular through lines. I said to the faculty that music schools teach people to play and sing very well because they have private lessons and ensembles every semester. So if we're doing our job at all, you leave the school and you can play or sing well. But what's the real skill set? What's the Swiss Army knife? Well, the musician's Swiss Army knife is technology. It's business and marketing and entrepreneurial skills. It's presentation skills, whether you're speaking or a stage presence. It's teaching others. It's being able to, write and think contextually. It's being able to create music, not just replicate other people's music. So all those things. Well, how are we going to have a professional skill set in 6 things if we're only teaching one of them?